It is one of the earliest standing buildings in Wheeling, and it operated as a church for over 100 years. In a city like Wheeling with so much history and so many people have lived here over the last 250 years, there's bound to be some legends and tales that pop up, and the Blue Church is certainly one of them. Especially around this time of year, lots of people are inquiring at the library or at Wheeling Heritage or in some of these history organizations about if their favorite old building is haunted. And the Blue Church is a building that has some legend and story around it. So the story that I've always heard was that the reverend of St. Michael's Parish was buried under the steps. And Wheelunk, one of our Wheelunk writers, decided to investigate that a little further. And, knowing kind of what I know about burial practices and architecture, I didn't really expect them to find much because that's not really something we see. Stones are heavy, all those things. But there was evidence in an 1866 Intelligencer article that the Reverend passed away while he was on a trip fundraising for the cost of construction of this church. And at some point, his remains were, quote, removed and relocated to the chancel of St. Matthew's on 12th Street, which is this building. Whether there are any crazy stories or not, these buildings that have been around for 100, 200 years, they've witnessed so much history and so many generations of people have interacted with them that the significance of that can't be overstated. And I think when you look at an old building, particularly one that hasn't been in use recently, that's starting to show those signs of patina and decay, there's just something inherently spooky about it. I can honestly say I've never felt uncomfortable in the Blue Church. I think generally it has a really nice feel about it, and I think it has a really positive history associated with it too, so I don't think that there's any unhappy paranormal energy here. We certainly get questions, particularly from older people that grew up hearing the story and now maybe want to do a little research of their own. When we look at media and movies and every representation of haunted architecture there is, it's always old and falling down. So I can see where people start to ask questions.